words because there's no question on NEET examination. So that's why we are comparing only 2 points, liverworts and the mosses. Okay, and we already discussed this point, that is liverworts, simply these are called as the hepatic opsida, and the mosses, which is the largest group of the bryophyta, called as the bryopsida. So quickly we are divide your page into two sections, because whatever the information is present according to their body type, sex organ, how they are showing the fertilization, etc. So we are taking in chart panel. So divide your page into two sections. Half section we discuss about the toward the left hand side, which is the primitive organism under the bryophyta, that is liverworts, and this point we compare with the mosses. Okay, yeah. So first point we are talking about with respect to liverworts, that is plant body. Number one. Number one, that is plant body. And whatever we are talking about plant body, that plant body nothing but we are talking about a body that is gametophytic body. Plant body, that is gametophytic body. Gametophytic body means the body to produce the gametes further, right? And the word gamete, definitely it is represent that body, these are the haploid in structure, not diploid. Okay, gametophytic body, these are the haploid. I hope you know this point. N means what we are simply talking about, that is haploid condition. Now so when we are talking about with respect to body pattern, so these are the showing dorsal ventral symmetry, and that dorsal ventral symmetry, simply these are called as the dorsiventral symmetry. Okay, dorsiventral symmetry. And when we compare this point with respect to mosses, that is in case of mosses, first character same, plant body, gametophytic body, which is haploid in nature. So in this condition, whatever we are talking about, the typical body structure of gametophytic, this entire structure that is leafy, it has the leafy structure, right? And that's why mosses also called as the leafy bryophyta. So because of their body structure, mosses also called as the leafy bryophyta. Because total gametophytic body, these are the covered with the leaf, maximum leaves are present. So quickly we are taking diagrammatic representation. What is the meaning of the dorsiventral? What is the meaning of the leafy? Sorry. So
Excuse me,
first of
ma'am.
all, huh?
Ma'am, even the mosses have gametophytic body.
हाँ इससे बेटा we are talking about ये पहला character हो गया ना, number one. So these are the one feature, one character. So this character, it is
Okay.
similar to liverworts and is similar to mosses. If you want, you can write down same point as it is. ये पूरा की पूरा यहाँ पे लिख सकते हो. Number one point, plant body. That plant body, these are the gametophytic body. Remember, हम एक point लिखते हैं at the corner, and similar point we means what is the specific property we write down each and every. For example, हमने लिखा cell wall. हाँ, cell wall in case of bacteria, peptidoglycan. In case of this chitin, different. In case of this fungi, chitin. In case of this plant, cellulose. And in case of animal, these are the absent. So according to that, we are writing one common features, characteristic, and we are distinguish on the basis of that into two group.
Okay,
Okay?
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. चलो यहाँ पे एक बार लिख लेती हूँ मैं. Gametophytic body, same point लिखना है हमें, nothing else. That is haploid body. So we are talking about structure of the dorsiventral. What is meaning of the dorsiventral? Okay. And at the base, small outgrowth. Hmm? This outgrowth, whatever these are called as the rhizoid, and you know very well rhizoid nothing but we are talking about root-like structure. Hmm? I'm just writing the name, that is rhizoid. And what is the ploidy level of rhizoid? Totally haploid, because we are talking about gametophytic body, which is totally haploid in nature. Now, this bottom point, whenever we are talking about this bottom side, where the roots are present, this bottom side, nothing but we can say these are the ventral side, and exactly opposite this side, these are called as the dorsal. Okay, dorsal and the ventral. So these are the simple diagrammatic representation to represent the dorsal ventral symmetry of this liverworts. Now we are talking about leafy structure in case of this mosses. Stem-like structure, erect structure who provide support, calloid. First part. At the base, there is a presence of the root-like structure. The root-like structure, simply these are called as the rhizoid. Now we are talking about leaf-like structure, that is phylloid. So this structure, leaf-like structure, simply these are called as the phylloid. So I'm not writing the typical name, you know very well. Phylloid means leaf-like structure, calloid means stem-like structure, rhizoids means root-like structure. And what is the ploidy level? So definitely we are talking about gametophytic body. So ploidy level of this entire structure, all these are the haploid, haploid, haploid. That's it. So quickly cover this first point and then we continue with the next one. Done. This point is done, first part. So we are talking about haploid body, that is gametophytic body. Whatever the body structure is present, leaf hone do, stem hone do, means leaf like, stem like, or root like structure, all these are the structure, they has the tendency haploid in nature. Hmm? Okay. Mosses, basically these are the most advanced because we are talking about left to right, and definitely as compared to liverworts, mosses, these are the more elaborate, more modification. Yeah, should I continue next part?
Just a second.
Okay. Okay, यश मिलाकर या टेस्ट के लिए सिलेबस पता है ना आपको? सेल यूनिट ऑफ लाइफ एंटायर चैप्टर, हाँ एंटायर चैप्टर. Yeah, today I will share the answer key in file section, botany file section. Kindly check that after class. Because already I shared assignment, sale assignment. Today I'll share the answer key. Okay, chalo. So now after the first point, plant body, we are talking about second point with respect to scale. We are talking about scale. And scale, these are also called as amphigastria. Simple name है amphigastria. What is meaning of amphi? Amphi means it is coming from the amphibians. Okay, amphibians. So we are talking about amphigastria. What is meaning of these scales? Scales basically these are the one typical type of the structure who prevent the loss of water. So what is the function? If we are talking about the typical function, it's prevent loss of water. That typical structure, simply these are called as the which structure? That is scale. So whenever we are talking about this typical type of the cell structure, yes, it is present in case of this liverworts, totally group of class of under the Bryophyta. So we are talking about one point with respect to scales. Yes, scales or amphigastria function prevent the water loss or retain the water holding capacity. Such typical structure, definitely these are the present in case of these liverworts, but in case of this mosses it is totally absent. And if you want to write down what is the ploidy level, so definitely we are talking this part under the gametophytic generation. Okay, gametophytic. So ultimately what will be the ploidy? So it has the ploidy, that is haploid in nature, because scales these are the present on gametophytic body. Got it? This point is clear. What is the meaning of the scales? Amphigastria. These are the typical type of the structure which is present on the gametophytic body. Function, prevent water loss. Type of the structure totally absent in case of this mosses. Third point. Third point. Again, this point related to gametophytic body, and we are talking about sex organ. If we are talking about the sex organ, again this sex organ present on gametophytic body. These are present on gametophytic body. So definitely such type of the sex organ is haploidy level. That is again haploid. They has the ploidy level, that is haploid, because these are the part of the gametophytic body. क्या हो रहा है? Okay. So this part will continue. एक मिनट है. एक So sex organ present on the body, that body nothing but we are talking about gametophytic body. Now, so one by one we are taking some exception case. We already discussed this point with respect to merchantia, but first of all we are talking about those are the common which is present in case of this liverworts as well as in case of this mosses. Under this point, number one, with related to sex organ, first point we are talking about sex organ embedded in thallus on dorsal side. So first point, sex organ embedded, because remember हमने देखा था these are also called as the cryptic, right? Crypto means what? Something hidden. Sex organ, these are the hidden. So yes, यहाँ पे हम बात करें that is sex organ embedded. Embedded means they are hidden. Embedded in thallus. Thallus means body. Thallus on dorsal side. Dorsal side means toward the upper side. Dorsal side. And to explain this point, simply we are taking one example, that is rixia. In case of this rixia, if you draw a typical structure of the rixia, now there is a presence of this two small embedded structure, two small curvature structure like this. ये कुछ इस तरह से structure होगा like this. Okay. So these are the typical structure of the thallus. साइड के बारे में बात करें, अपर वाली साइड है, these are the dorsal side of the Bryophyta. Lower side, these are called as the ventral side, and we already discussed point where the ventral side is present. At that point, typical root-like structures are present. That structure nothing but rhizoid, which is haploid in nature. In this point, there is just two cavities are there. यहाँ पे देखो, something cavities are present. One cavity यहाँ पे present है, and the another cavity, these are the present. But this cavity, where these are the present? These are the present on thallus, but toward the dorsal side. Now, these are the specific type of the cavity, or what we say, these are the specific type of the structure where sex they get embedded. So, for example, you can represent ये जो part है, these are the cavity or these are the place where male sex organ is present, and now these are the site where female sex organs are present. So in case of this rixia, it's very much common. Whatever we are talking about sex organ, these are the part of the gametophytic body, and now that sex organ, these are the hidden, they are embedded, right? So now in this condition, simply you can say एक ही structure है, single body है, and inside the single body two sex organs present on the same body. One is male, another one is female. Okay, so these are the first point with respect to liverworts. Whenever we are comparing this point with mosses, which is the largest group, largest class, so in this condition, sex organ present at tip of leafy shoot. Tip of leafy shoot, tip पे present होगी. Okay, tip of leafy shoot. So such type of this shoot, these are called as gametophore. Such type of this shoot, these are called as the gametophore. What is meaning of this gametophore? A typical type of this leaf shoot where sex organs are present. Normally what happen? Gametophytic body, see, gametophytic body, right? Means something spores are present, that spores get released. After the germination, that spores undergo development of the gametophytic. Initially gametophytic, these are the immature. जब immature होगा, that time they can perform photosynthesis, they can absorb water, they can absorb mineral. And now what happened? At the maturity, on the tip of that gametophytic body, because we discussed mosses, basically these are called as leafy mosses because leaf-like structures are present. So on the tip, okay, on the tip, sex organs are present.
The screen is not visible.
No, it's visible, beta. It's only for you or for all?
Yes, ma'am. Now it's visible.
Now it's visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So what is the meaning of this gametophore? Gametophore means these are the special type of the structure where sex organ present on tip of the leaf shoot. Okay. So जो diagram हमने ऊपर draw किया था, you can draw as it is. For example, suppose these are the stem-like structure. Now these are the root-like structures, and on the entire structure, now these are the covered with leaf like this. But now during the maturity, यहाँ पे present है on the tip. On the tip, there is a presence of the sex organ. So such type of the shoot where sex organs are present, these are called as gametophore. Okay, these typical structure, these are called as the gametophore structure. Clear? At maturity, huh? At maturity. Okay. Should I continue next part?
Ma'am, wait.
Okay. So we are talking about one very important and the common point for both, means for liverworts as well as for the mosses. All mosses, all Bryophyta, including liverworts, hornworts, as well as the mosses, all they monoecious condition. What is meaning of this monoecious? On single plant, both sex organs are present, monoecious, but exception case with respect to merchantia. So I'm writing one point here, which is common for the both. So that's why I'm representing at the center. Talking about all Bryophyta, all Bryophyta monoecious. And you know very well what is the meaning of monoecious? That is on single plant, both sex organs are present. Male bhi hoga, female bhi hoga, right? That's why we can simply represent that these are the monoecious. But exception case, but exception with respect to merchantia. Exception case with respect to merchantia, because merchantia, these are the exception case which is come under the liverworts. Those are showing dioecious condition where male branch, male sexual branch is totally different and female sex branch, these are the totally different. So that's why we can say these are the represented dioecious plant. So all Bryophyta, one question from this point, okay? All Bryophyta, these are the monoecious plant, but exception case with respect to merchantia, these are the example of the dioecious plant. So quickly, we are continue the difference, and this we write down under the class liverworts. So detailed explanation about the merchantia. And please remember this point, merchantia, these are the example come under the liverworts. It is not a mosses. But ये जो point है, these are the common for the mosses as well as the liverworts. Once you've done this part, tell me. Done? Done. Okay, Malaka, chalo. So merchantia is very important example because when we start the 12th standard first chapter, reproduction in plant, that time again we discussed this point, but that time I'm not taking in detail because we already studied detailed information in this chapter. So we are talking about with respect to merchantia. So in case of this merchantia, simply we are talking about these are the example of the dioecious plant. Okay, कौन सा example है? These are the example of the dioecious plant. And you know very well, dioecious plant means what? The plant who has sex organ on two different plant. Dioecious. So quickly we divide this part, that is with respect to male and the female sex organ. Now we have to draw a diagram. So please create a space according to that. So this dioecious plant, in case of this merchantia, there is a presence of male sexual branch. Male sexual branch. And these male sexual branch, these are called as, this male sexual branch called as anthridiophore. Anthridiophore. Okay, अभी हमने थोड़ी देर पहले देखा था there is a one word that is gametophore, right? Gametophore. Gametophore means what? Gametes, male gamete or the female gamete. Phore, phore, it is represent the information about the sex organ, or it is information about, that is what we say, that is related to branch where the sex organ these are the present. So in this condition simply we are using the word that is anthridiophore, where male sexual branch is present. Exactly reverse scenario, on the other plant, on the next plant means another plant, there is a presence of female sexual branch. Not on same plant, on another plant. So there is a presence of this female sexual branch, and these female sexual branch, simply these are called as archigoniophore. 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 So anthridiophore and the archigoniophore. Now inside this typical structure, इसके अंदर, so we are talking about inside. एक मिनट. So we are talking about inside this typical anthridiophore as well as the archigoniophore, there is a presence of this typical structure anthridium and the archigonia, which is exactly represent the male and the female sex organ inside. So again we are talking about and inside the archigoniophore as well as the inside the anthridiophore. तो पहले देखते हैं anthridiophore के अंदर क्या होगा. So inside the anthridiophore there is a presence of a typical male sex organ, that is anthridium. So there is a presence of this anthridium, and this anthridium nothing but this male sex organ. Same condition with respect to archigoniophore. Inside this archigoniophore there is a presence of archigonia. Archigonia present, and these archigonia simply these are represent female sex organ. Done? So we are taking the diagrammatic representation, how to distinguish between the male and the female sexual branch in case of this merchantia. Anyone, if you have the of you, click a photo and share in chat box. Anyone, because I'll draw here definitely, but you will get the clear-cut idea where this exactly this diagram is included. So just take the photo and share in chat box. Image of merchantia. So we are our diagram. We are talking about our diagram. So one by one we draw that typical structure.
And scroll up.
Scroll up. Hmm. Done.
Ma'am, wait. Done, ma'am.
Okay, okay, Malak, I got it better. Yeah, very good. So just see, exactly we are talking about, these are the thallus structure. Those are showing the dorsiventral symmetry. And if you see the lower part, जहाँ पे rhizoid present है, now there is a presence of the dorsal side, ventral side. If you see, in case of male and female, these are look totally similar. But what is the exact difference? That exactly difference based on the sexual branch. That is archigoniophore and the anthridiophore. So you have to focus on the tip. Tip उसका देखो, something which look like a flower, right? So archigoniophore, exactly it is has this something well developed flower petals like arrangement, okay, not flower petals. It has the flower petal like arrangement, right? So these are the exactly key point, or what we say, these are the exactly key to understand what is the exactly difference between the male and the female sexual branch. Entire portion, rest of portion 100% these are the similar with each other. Distinguish कहाँ पे होगा? Distinguish only होगा from the tip. So is this any question? Definitely one question from the diagram. अगर डायग्राम में क्वेश्चन आया है और आपको पूछा गया है कि आउट ऑफ दिस विच वन इज द मेल एंड विच वन इज द फीमेल, सो जस्ट चेक ऑन द टिप, राइट? सो ये देख लो, इट्स वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज फीमेल सेक्सुअल ब्रांच इट हैज दिस समथिंग फ्लावर पेटल लाइक अरेंजमेंट, क्लियरली दिखाई देता है, सो यू कैन इजीली अंडरस्टैंड दैट स्ट्रक्चर. So here we draw the typical structure, very simple structure, we are not taking to complication, very simple structure. So first of all we draw lower body, that is gametophytic body, thallus body. These are the body, and यहाँ पे present है, these are the root like structure because toward the ventral side root like, that is rhizoids are present. क्या हो गया? Sorry. I draw the another same structure. Rhizoid like structures at the base. Now we are talking about the sexual branch. So simply we are talking about ये था with respect to anthridium, means we are talking about that is male, and now this compared with point with the female. Exactly, yeah. So we are talking about there is a presence of this branch, stack-like structure, sexual branch. So both these are nothing but common name, we can say, that is stack-like structure, which is present in all. एक minute. These are the stack-like structure. Now we are talking about the uppermost structure. Uppermost. For the male, female has some different arrangement like this. So that exactly variation on the basis. If you see the lower body as it is, same to same, no doubt. Stack support है, these are also same to same, no change. But variation कहाँ पे हो रहा है? Variation with respect to their tip, and this tip structure simply these are called as the disc. These are called as the which structure, that is disc. So disc get vary from male as well as the female. So ये जो part है, these are nothing but we can say disc. और variation कहाँ पे हो रहा है? With respect to merchantia, that variation with the help of their disc, because female body, whatever we are talking about, female body is having some typical type of the structure of the disc. So on the basis of this, we can easily understand which one is the female sexual branch and which one is the male sexual branch. Got it? Okay. And if you want, you can write down this information in margin. That is disc structure. That is typical structure of the disc. Plus there is a stack. Stack क्या है? These are the support because they form a branch. So this collectively, this together, stack plus disc, these are called as the sexual branch. Because sexual organ they develop at the maturity, right? तो initially तो ये structure present ही था, lower structure, that is thallus, dorsal side, ventral side, this one. ये structure तो basic है, these are the basic structure of the gametophytic, which is initially present. But now what happened? When that gametophytic body is get mature, during that maturity time, now there is a development of stack, and on the tip of the stack now there is a development of disc, male and the female disc, right? So that stack plus stack plus disc, collectively these are called as the sexual branch. Got it? This point is clear, everyone? This point is clear? Diagram done? Okay, Rishikesh. Okay, chalo. Now all this information with respect to gametophytic body. Next point we are talking about sporophytic body. Again back to pavilion. We are taking difference between the liverworts and the mosses. Continue कर रहे हैं इस point को. Okay? So next part कितना number है? Number I think 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the 4 I think, right? So we are talking about fourth point. Yeah, fourth point, that is sporophytic body, which is diploid in nature. Okay, so write down under the liverworts. Fourth point, we are talking about sporophytic body. Sporophytic body. And you know very well, whenever we are talking about this sporophytic body, all this body diploid in nature. Okay, diploid, sporophytic body, all these are the diploid in nature. Now, so when we are talking about such type of this sporophytic body, that sporophytic body, it is consist of the 3 parts. So that sporophytic, which is the diploid body, these are consist of three parts, basic three parts. These are consist of the three parts. Number one, that is food. Number second, seta, and the number third, capsule. Food, seta, and the capsule. So these are the three typical structure associated with the liverworts. Now we draw the typical structure. These are the base. Now that base nothing but it is called as the foot. Now seta, and on the head there is a presence of this capsule. So I'm giving one by one name. ये जो है, these are the called as the foot. Now this number second, these are called as the seta, and this globular structure, these are nothing but these are called as the capsule. So sporophytic body, definitely we are talking about this sporophytic body. These are the consist of the food, seta, as well as the capsule. But there is a one characteristic feature with respect to seta, that seta in case of liverworts is comparatively short. So these are the very much common in case of what we say sporophytic body in case of liverworts. Again bio है तो without exception तो कुछ होगा नहीं, right? So here we are talking about one exception case in case of this rixia. Exception, an exception case in case of rixia. In case of this rixia, sporophytic body it is consist of only capsule होगा, no food, no seta. So in case of this rixia, there is a one exception case, that is sporophytic body. It is sporophyte. Sporophyte consist of capsule. Okay, these are the consist of this capsule. So if we discuss about what is the exactly common feature in case of this liverwort, so definitely that sporophytic body, which is a diploid body. These are the consist of the food, seta, and capsule. But exception case with respect to rixia, that rixia it has consist of only and only capsule. Got it? Now we talk about sporophytic body in case of this mosses. So mosses में भी same scenario है, same information. Sporophytes are present, and that sporophytic body means diploid body. And these are the consist of the food, seta, and the capsule. As it is this point, you can write down here. So here there is a presence of this body, sporophytic body, and this sporophytic body nothing but these are the diploid in nature. And true, these are the present of the base part, that is food, second part that is seta, and the third part that is capsule. But there is a something modification. Modification means what? That seta is comparatively long, length में ज़्यादा होगा. So we draw that structure. Suppose कुछ इस तरह से structure होगा. So we are giving the name one by one. Base, that is called as the foot. Entire middle part, these are called as the seta. And the characteristic feature with respect to mosses, that seta, these are the comparatively long in size. So ये long होगा. You can highlight this point, that is seta, these are the long. And whatever we are talking about, this mouth portion, ये जो portion है, this one, this mouth portion, simply these are called as the capsule. So if you see exactly difference in case of this sporophytic body, in case of this liverwort, तीनों part तो present definitely, but now they have the reduced size because definitely these are the primitive one under the Bryophyta. But leafy Bryophyta, that is mosses basically these are the more elaborated. So definitely they has the more elaborated sporophytic body, Food, seta is comparatively long, and now mouth structure is present, that is capsule. Got it? Done? Okay, yes. Now quickly and continue this point, one specific type of these tissues, the tissue nothing but columella tissue or columella cells. So we are talking about there is a presence of this columella. Case of this liverworts, columella, these are the totally absent. But when you compare this point, एक minute. Yeah. Can you hear me? Can you hear
Yes,
me? Screen is visible?
Ma'am, the voice is not clear.
Okay, okay, got it. Now it's clear, Alia? Now it's clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, screen is visible? Screen is visible?
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay, Sanu. Yeah. So continue with the next part with respect to a specific type of the cell, that is columella cell. What is the columella cell? Columella cell, basically these are the present inside the capsule. So this typical type of the cell, we discuss this part later because we have to discuss the life cycle of the funaria. That time I'll tell you detail. So this columella cell, where these are the present, so these are the present inside the capsule. Present inside this capsule. Okay, so that's it. Detailed information we discuss later. What is the function and how they work?
Roll up.
Yeah, sure. There. So we are talking about the specific type of the cell, that is columella cell, absent and the present. Next part, get the fifth one. Next part, we are talking about number 6 with respect to stomata. What is the function of the stomata? What is
Done,
the
ma'am.
function
Thank
of stomata? What is the function of stomata? Exchange of gases, yes, and as well as these are the responsible for the transpiration, loss of water. So such type of this stomatal structure, these are totally absent in case of this liverworts, but yes, This stomata structure, it is present in case of mosses. These are the 6 points with respect to stomata. Stomata absent in case of this liverworts, but yes, it is present in case of what we say in case of this mosses. Now, next part, vascular tissue, number 7. Yeah. Next part, number 7, we are talking about with respect to vascular tissue. When we are talking about the vascular tissue, it means that we are talking about xylem and the phloem. Those are involved in the food conduction, right? Those are involved during the food conduction. That is vascular tissue. Normally what happens, xylem and the phloem, these are the first time appear in case of pteridophyta. That's why we can say these are the first vascular plant. But mosses, these are the some exception case. So यहाँ पे तो totally absent हो गए. Sorry, absent ही लिख दो. Vascular tissue, these are the totally absent in case of this liverwort. But in case of mosses, we have to discuss exception case. Yes, यहाँ पे present है. Vascular tissue, these are the present, but now some exception case. See, exceptions है. In case of this Bryophyta, vascular tissue totally absent, right? हमने वो when we discuss the common characteristic, that time also we discussed this point. But now here we are talking about exception case. Why we say that is exception? Because true xylem and the true phloem totally absent. Vascular tissue are absent, but for conduction of the water and for the conduction of the food, there is a presence of this specific type of this cell. So we are talking about exception case. And what exception case? We are talking about first point, there is a presence of this hydroid cell. Hydroid cell. And this hydroid cell responsible for water conduction, under the mosses. So these are the responsible for water conduction, and the another cell, that is leptoid. Hydroid and the leptoid cell. So these leptoid cell, simply these are responsible for food conduction. Remember this point, yes, we are talking about vascular tissues are present, but these vascular tissue, these are not xylem and not phloem. It's not xylem and phloem. Got it? But kya present hai? At the place of this xylem, there is a presence of this hydroid cell, and at the place of this phloem, there is a presence of this leptoid cell. Hydroid, hydro, conduction of the water, and leptoid cell, conduction of the food. Got it? This point is clear. But अगर question ऐसा होगा, in case of this Bryophyta, vascular tissue present or absent? So your answer is absent. Remember this point. If in Bryophyta, vascular tissue present or absent, answer will be absent. But if specifically they are talking about, in case of this mosses, vascular tissue present or absent, so that time answer will be present, but type of this cell present, that is, these are the one specific type of this cell. Got it? This point is clear. Rishikesh, Padma, Yash, Sanvi, Shifa. Okay. Okay, Mangesh. Yeah, Malaka. Yeah. So 8 point. Next point. Spores dispersion technique. One question, need part. So next part we are talking about how the spores get released. Just 1 second, okay? Just 1 second. So next part we continue with this spores dispersion mechanism, how the spores get released. So next point, spores dispersal mechanism. ये नीट का फेवरेट पार्ट है because so many kind of the question can design from this point. So in case of this spore dispersion, first of all we are talking about what happening in case of this merchantia. See, we are focusing on the merchantia because merchantia it has some unique identity, unique property. So merchantia with respect to the in case of this merchantia, that for this spore dispersion there is a presence of a typical type of this structure that is called as the elaters. So it has a typical type of this structure that is elaters. Elaters present. Okay, elater. So what is meaning of elaters? What happened?
Scroll up.
Scroll up. Yeah. Mute your mic. So listen carefully because this elaters point is important. So we are talking about under the liver pores. In case of this merchantia, there is a presence of these elaters. Elaters, these are the some mechanism for this spores dispersion. So now what happened? We are talking about what is the elaters and how these are located. So these elaters, basically, these are the associated with the capsule. So capsule, we discussed that is food seta and the capsule. Inside the capsule, presence of the spore mother cell. Inside it, there is a presence of spore mother cell. There is a presence of the spore mother cell, and simply in spore mother cell, these are called as the SMC. Okay, spore mother cell. Remember this point permanently. SMC means that is spore mother cell. If you discuss entire body of sporophytic body, these are the diploid. मतलब capsule भी क्या होगा? Diploid in nature. And whenever we are talking about that spore mother cell, these are also diploid in nature. Now what happened? These spore mother cell, these are the undergo the process of meiosis. तो दो टाइप के हम देख रहे हैं यहाँ पे. What happened if these cells undergo the meiosis and what happened it is not undergo the meiosis. So this spore mother cell, we have to focus on which cell? Spore mother cell. हम यहाँ पे focus कर रहे हैं. What happened with this spore mother cell? Where these are the located? These are the present inside this capsule. And I hope you remember just we discussed that is food, seta and the capsule. So यहाँ पे हम बात करें ये जो capsule से यहाँ पे spores present होते हैं. At this point, spores are present inside this capsule. But now that spores means capsule, inside this capsule, spore mother cells are present, and that spore mother cell, when undergo the meiosis, sporic meiosis, that time they can form a typical type of the spore. So we are talking about two conditions with respect to SMC. SMC cell is diploid in nature. Now this SMC cell undergo the process of sporic meiosis. I hope you know this point clear cut. When I'm using the gametic meiosis, when I'm using this sporic meiosis means what? Spore mother cell now undergo the reductional division. Now it is undergo the meiosis process. That's why we are using the word sporic meiosis. Okay, and you know very well after the meiosis process, more specific sporic meiosis process, there is a formation of typical type of the spores. That spore nothing but called as the meiospore, which is haploid in nature because meiosis is a reductional division and after this reductional division we obtain the haploid spore. ये था एक scenario. These are the first scenario with respect to if meiosis is present. Now what happened? Second scenario, if no meiosis. मान लो अगर कुछ meiosis नहीं हुआ, there is a no any reductional division, no meiosis. So now that what happened? that SMC cell, that is spore mother cell, further develop, further they form elaters. So if no meiosis, it means that spore mother cell, those are diploid in nature, further they formed a typical structure that is called as the elaters. They form elaters. And definitely, if you want to check what is the ploidy level of these elaters, yes, these are the diploid in nature. Because spore mother cell, as it is, they converted, or simply you can say they formed a typical structure of the elaters. And these elaters help for the dispersion of the spore, release of the spore. Okay, so we are talking about how they help. So quickly we will draw the typical structure of the elaters. Can you understand this pathway? How that inside this capsule all this mechanism is going on? Okay, because all these are the what we say uh, diagrammatic flowchart information. Because I'm not believing that कि each and every line I write and then I'll explain. ये पूरा बहुत lengthy हो जाता है process. So I think these are the best technique to recall. We are talking about capsule. Inside this capsule, spore mother cells are. Spore mother cell, if undergo the sporic meiosis, they form the meiospore, right? Another condition, if no meiosis, so that spore mother cell, they further converted in the form of a typical structure that is elaters. So what is the ploidy level of elaters? Diploid, because without meiosis, without any reductional division, as it is, spore mother cells converted into elater structure. So quickly I draw the structure of the elaters. चलो ड्रॉ करो हमारे साथ. I'm telling you this point. Wait, yes, I'm telling this point. First of all, draw the diagram. Okay. So this mustard color which is represented, these are the nothing but we are talking about. These are the two bands are present. Because see, one band ऐसा है, one band is this one, and the another band it is just cross this. इस तरह से स्प्रिंग की तरह स्ट्रक्चर फॉर्म करें. One band and these are the another band. So total how many bands are there? Two bands. So that two bands are present, and these two bands, simply these are called as hygroscopic band. This band, nothing but these are called as the hygroscopic band. Okay, and whenever we are talking about hygroscopic band, definitely these are the water loving. They can absorb the water. These are the water loving band. That's why such type of this band, these are called as hygroscopic band. How many bands are present? Total two. ठीक है. So ये जो structure है, these are the typical figure or the typical diagram for the elaters, which is associated with the liver boards. Then if your diagram is done, then I'll tell you what happened. What is the function of that elaters? Done. Done this part.
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ अमोद, what happened? ये एक बैंड हो गया, ये इस तरह से बैंड है, ये एक बैंड है, ये दूसरा बैंड है. Now what happened? The two band they coiled with each other. एक स्प्रिंग की तरह स्ट्रक्चर फॉर्म करे. Together, these two bands is called as the hygroscopic band. And this entire structure with the band and what is the boundaries there, because definitely we are talking about plant, and plant it has the wall, तो ये कुछ boundary है, wall like structure which is represented by this white color. So that typical structure entirely these are called as the elaters. Yeah, both band. So now I'm talking about what happening when that elaters they absorb the water. So just suppose, don't write this information, okay? Functions of the elaters basically help for this spores dispersion. Very simple function, but I'm talking about how they help. So what is the function of these elaters? Help in spore release or spores dispersion. Very basic structure. But I'm talking about how these are the possible. These are the extra information. Don't just write down this point only. What is the function? Spores dispersion or spores release. So now how they release these spores? Just suppose ये नीचे वाली body है, complete body. That body nothing but gametophytic body. On gametophytic body there is a presence of sporophytic body. तो कुछ इस तरह से structure. ये जो body है that is sporophytic body. Gametophytic body it's haploid in nature. Sporophytic body is for the sporophytic which is diploid in nature. Now what happened? Inside ये जो portion है these are the capsule. Inside this capsule बहुत सारे cells present है, that is spore mother cell. All these are the diploid in nature. Spore mother cell. So we discussed the two scenario. Spore mother cell undergo the sporic meiosis, they form a spore, right? So now what happened? How they release the spore? Because entire structure these are the covered with the capsule. So now what happened? ये जो capsule का portion है, for example I am draw the capsule large. So ये capsule, what happened? Inside this capsule there is a presence of so many spore mother cells. That spore mother cell these are the undergo the process of this meiosis, and after this meiosis they form a spore. So there is a presence of this capsule, and inside this capsule we consider that they undergo the process of the meiosis and they form a haploid spores. So some spores are present at some places, elaters are present. So for example these are the elaters. Capsule के अंदर, okay, inside the capsule. So these are the elaters. So what is the tendency of these elaters? Elaters absorb the water because these are the water loving. So to that elaters, now there is a process can be occur, that is endoosmosis. And endoosmosis nothing but we are talking about entry of water. So water it is get entered inside this capsule. You know that if water की entry होगी मतलब क्या होगा? Cell become swell up, right? And now what happened? Due to swelling of this capsule, now there is a breakdown of the wall due to entry of this water. Now what happened? That capsule it is get break. Capsule it is break, and you once capsule it is get break, it means that one by one whatever the spores are present, that spores they get released. Spores they get released. So that's why this such type of these elaters it play very important role for the release of the spores, because see entire capsule these are the made up of the spore mother cell, right? Inside this spore mother cell few these are the converted into spores after the meiosis. Few it is converted into elaters. Elaters it has the two band, both band they coiled with each other, and that two band it is called as a hygroscopic band. Hygroscopic band means what? This band they has tendency to absorb the water. So मान लो कि आपको सब कुछ हो गया, मैच्योरिटी हो गई, स्पोर्स फॉर्म हो गए, अब बाहर जाना पड़ेगा, बट कैप्सूल एक प्रोटेक्टिव लेयर फॉर्म करेगा. At this situation what happened? They absorb the water from the surrounding environment. Because see हमने क्या बात किया था यहाँ पे? We are talking about amphibian plants, Bryophyta. So definitely water तो present होगा. So that elaters they absorb the water. Due to entry of water, now the capsule structure it is gets swell up. जैसे जैसे water enter होगा, swell up के बाद immediately they get burst. and once that capsule lattice get burst, spores they get released for the germination. Got it? Did you understand how that elaters it is help for this spores dispersion? Yes, I just tell you one point. All Bryophyta, these are the monoecious. एक point हमने देखा exception case, right? And in case of this Bryophyta, gametophytic body and this sporophytic body they present on the same plant. Same plant. मतलब यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? ये जो body है, lower body. This lower body, these are the gametophytic body. On gametophytic body, there is a development of food seta and the capsule. ये body कौन सा हो गया? This one, ये जो upper वाली body है, these are the sporophytic body. Now what happened? These are the capsule. Capsule burst हुआ. Now यहाँ पे spores थे. That spores it is get released. Right now क्या होगा? That spores may be released. They showing transmission. They are showing spores pollination. Remember pollination. Spores release हो रहे with the help of water, with the help of this air current. Now that spores get released. These spores undergo the process of germination. एक minute. Spores get formed. Now that spores get released. Now what happened? That spores undergo the process of germination. And once that spores get germinate, now further it is converted into, they form a body that is gametophytic body. What they form? They form the gametophytic body. So spores haploid the, definitely gametophytic body also they get haploid. Got this? Yes, it has the alternate life cycle. That's why we are talking about ना haplodiplontic life cycle. But these are the present on the same plant. नीचे वाला जो body होगा हम ये आगे देखेंगे. Why we say these are the called as the haplodiplontic life cycle? Because gametophytic body it has, see क्या क्या काम करता है देखो gametophytic body. It has the root-like structure that is rhizoid. Keloid भी present है, phylloid भी present है. So no dependency on sporophytic body. Again, during the maturity, that gametophytic body they produce the male and the female sex organ. दोनों का fusion होगा on the same plant, right? After the fusion, they convert it into sporophytic body. So sporophytic body they form food seta and the capsule. Capsule break होगा after the meiosis. Spores release होंगे. Again, that spores form the gametophytic body. Gametophytic body produce the gamete, male and the female. Male and the female showing fusion. zygote बनेगा, zygote produce the sporophytic body, food seta and the capsule. फिर से capsule break होगा, spores release होंगे. That spores again convert into gametophytic body. So these are the one kind of the life cycle. Sporophytic convert into gametophytic, gametophytic convert into sporophytic. Alternation in generation. Got it, Yash? Okay, we discuss this part later. Don't worry. Yeah. So these are the some information how that elaters it is help for the spores dispersion. Clear? Is this any doubt with respect to spores dispersion? Is this any doubt? हाँ बच्चा.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Alia, Sanya, हाँ.
Ma'am, how the elaters helps the capsule to burst?
Had to see the cotton. Normally we are talking about cotton. Not cotton.
Yes,
cotton swell up. कुछ तो example बताओ यार जो swell up होगा. See, simple we are talking about any cell, right? So if cell it is having cell, any cell they maintain their osmotic potential. Osmotic potential means what? They maintain their water as well as the solid concentration. So they can maintain their appropriate. If there is excess entry of water अंदर आता जा रहा है, entry of the water. So now what happened? That cell it will be start showing the swelling. होता है कि नहीं होता है? See, remember आपका स्कूल का phenomena hypotonic, hypertonic, isotonic. Remember? I think in 8th, 9th. हाँ, cell का phenomena. So now in this condition, what happened? Cell it is get swell up. Capsule gets swell up because of the elaters. Because elaters they absorb the water. Now what happened? Excess absorbing of water. बहुत ज़्यादा water अंदर. So initially अगर ज्यादा एंट्री हो रहा है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल यू आर टेकिंग इन बलून की कुछ तो कैपेसिटी होगी, दैट टाइम इट इज मेंटेन दैट शेप. बट इफ यू आर excessing pumping the air inside that balloon, so now what happen? Ultimately that balloon get burst. Same scenario with respect to capsule की भी कुछ तो capacity होगी for the absorption of the water. But now what happen? Let us they absorb the more and more and more water. So due to that excess water entry, capsule get burst, spores get released. Simple. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. एक मिनट. यश का क्या फंडा है? Rishikesh, once that capsulitis get burst, now that sporophytic body it is entirely dead. Because what is the main function of the sporophytic body? To release the spores. एक बार काम हो गया, body become dead. Means sporophytic body become dead. Yeah. Yash, I'll discuss this point later because see, in case of this merchant share, basically थोड़ा सा mechanism difference है. Why we are talking about? Because see, whatever we are talking about the fertilization process, most of cases fertilization process it is occur on the female body के ऊपर होता है, right? So answer is your answer is true because whatever this mechanism is happening, these are the happening on the female body because spores get released, and that once means whatever we are talking about, there is a fusion, spores get released, and after the spores undergo the process of this gametophytic body, they produce the sex organ. But now in this condition mechanism these are the different because ये हम देखेंगे डिटेल में how they are showing the mechanism in case of the funaria, not now. Yeah, so these are the some mechanism. Now we are talking about most advanced technique with respect to mosses. So chalo, now we are talking about spores dispersal mechanism in case of this mosses. In case of this mosses, spores dispersion mechanism, these are the most advanced because it has a typical type of the teeth like structure that is called as the peristome. So write down under the mosses. So as it is, there is a one question in previous NEET examination. As compared to liverworts, mosses has most or more elaborate mechanism for spore release, spores dispersion. So we are writing that sentence, that is mosses has more elaborate. So if you read the NCERT, you will get one sentence, as it is. As compared to liverworts, mosses has more elaborate mechanism for spore dispersion. Okay, and simply I'm talking the name here only because we'll discuss the detailed structure in case of upcoming part, and that part nothing but we are talking about, that is peristome teeth. The typical structure, these are called as the peristome teeth. And if I'm talking about how many total teeth like structures are present, so total 32 teeth are present. Total 32. So detailed information we'll discuss later, not now. Okay, total 32. 16 होते 16 present toward the outer side and 16 present toward the inner side. So discuss that part later. And the last point with respect to differentiation, that is nutrition. Yeah. So ये था sports dispersion point. I think number is 8. Now we are talking about last point with respect to nutrition. Should I continue? Chalo. So write down the mode of nutrition in case of these liverworts. Basically, liverworts, these are the example of the total parasite. Sporophytic body, huh? Total parasite. So we are talking about number 8 point with respect to nutrition, because see, gametophytic body, it has the,
Could you please scroll up?
1 minute.
Thank you,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yeah. Just 1 second. The screen is Yeah. So I dictate this part. Meanwhile, a screen is, yeah. So write down number 9 point nutrition. Okay. So quickly we are taking the difference between the liverworts and the mosses. Liverworts and the mosses. Last point here. We are talking about the 9th point, that is nutrition. So I hope you remember, in case of this Bryophyta, gametophytic body, these are the dominant, because they has the leaf-like structure, root-like structure, stem-like structure. Everything is present. So they are capable for the photosynthesis as well as they're capable for the absorption of the water minerals. So here we are talking about mode of nutrition with respect to sporophytic body. Okay, remember this point. हम यहाँ पे बस sporophytic body को elaborate कर रहे हैं. Sporophytic body, which is diploid in nature. और यहाँ पे भी हम डिस्कस करेंगे. Yes, there is a presence of this body, that is sporophytic body. Mode of nutrition only with respect to sporophytic body. In case of this sporophytic body, basically this body, these are the non-green. ये non-green है. But when we compare this body with respect to mosses, so these mosses, this sporophytic body, basically these are the green. So what you understand from this point, if green, it means that they are capable for the photosynthesis, and non-green means what? They not perform the process of the photosynthesis. So on the basis of this main character, we are talking about why we say liverworts, these are the total parasite. So we are talking about sporophytic body, these are the non-green. So in this condition, we are talking about, that is diploid body, sporophytic body. Sporophytic body totally depend upon, totally, 1 minute, totally depend upon gametophytic, totally depend upon gametophytic body, which is haploid body. Okay. Gametophytic body. And in this gametophytic body, we are talking about dependency for what? Gametophytic body for food. Food के लिए dependency है, because these are the non-green. As well as dependency for the water as well as the mineral, because this sporophytic body, they don't have the what we say root-like structure, because rhizoid, these are the part associated with the gametophytic body. हमने देखा था ना, toward the ventral side rhizoids are present to absorb the water as well as the mineral. So they depend for the food. These are the depend for the minerals, as well as we can say these are the depend for the attachment also. Because see, sporophytic body kahan pe attach hai? These are the attached on the gametophytic body. On gametophytic body, there is a development of the sporophytic body. Just take the mertensia. नीचे हमने thallus draw किया था, thallus like structure, and on the thallus stack present था and the disc present था. So for the attachment, even for the attachment also, now there is a requirement of this gametophytic body. So that's why simply if you want to say sporophytic, these are the example of total parasite. What is meaning of the total parasite? For everything, attachment, food le lo, water le lo, mineral le lo, for each and every point, each and every, they has the dependency on the gametophytic body. So simply we are writing some point, right, that sporophytes, that is sporophytic body, these are example of total parasite. Okay, these are the example of the total parasite. But when you compare this point with respect to mosses, we discuss one point here. Mosses basically, these are the green in color. Green color means what? They are capable for the photosynthesis. It means that they depend only for the water, mineral and the attachment. So we are writing same point here. These are sporophytic body. Sporophytic body depend on gametophytic. Depend on gametophytes for water and minerals, no food, because they green it means they are capable for the photosynthesis. Okay, so dependency for the water and mineral, and as well as we can say for the attachment process. For green means they can synthesis, they can form their own food. तो यहाँ पे तो dependency नहीं है for the food, no dependency, dependency only for the water, mineral and the attachment. So such type, if you want to say such type of the sporophyte, these are the partial parasite. Partial means what? Incomplete. कुछ खुद भी काम करेगा. So sporophyte in case of this liverworts, these are partial parasite. Got it? So is this any doubt with respect to partial parasite and the total parasite? This point is very, very important. Okay, remember this point, mode of nutrition, because these are the exactly difference between the liverworts and the mosses. और जो भी question बनता है from the Bryophyta, definitely that question coming from the those point. Total parasite because dependency for food, water, mineral attachment, everything they has the dependency, and it has the dependency only for attachment and the water mineral, because sporophytic body green है, that's why we see mosses are called as the leafy bryophyta. Why? Because they has the leaf-like structure, and even that leaf-like structure also associated, means that green structure, not leaf-like structure, that green structure also associated with the sporophytic. So green means chlorophyll pigments are present, and if chlorophyll pigments are present, it means that they can perform the process photosynthesis. Yeah, this point is clear, everyone? This point is clear. Is this any doubt from today's class? Okay, chalo, very nice. So with this we end today's session. Next class हम start करेंगे life cycle of the Funaria, because एक question वहाँ से बनता है. And in case of Funaria, I'll tell you how that typical teeth, that is total peristome teeth, they work, how they help for this post disculture. Okay, thank you.